I always knew from a young age, I've always wanted to help people. I kind of went through like the robotics process thinking that I would invent something that would help someone. I realized that instead of trying to create something to fix someone, let me just fix someone straight up.
My twin brother, he had leukemia, and I kind of wanted to help people. The doctors help my family.
I used to take household items and pretend like I was a surgeon to massage my mom's pain, her legs, everything.
Going to Iraq and serving for OIF 9 and 10, we lost a soldier. And I felt helpless at that point. I was just like, I never want to be in that situation again. At that time, the best I could do was CPR. And I made a conscious decision at that point that I'm going to transition and attempt to go to medical school.
As a physician, I want to serve communities like mine and my own community, communities full of people who often feel misrepresented or underrepresented and underserved.
I wanted to be the physician that inspires people, that makes a difference, that listens to everyone.
I want to be the person who you come to and to sympathize with you.
My passion for service is very strong.
Hey, I think we're live. Welcome to the Breakdown Live. With host John Chaney, Paolo Bianco, and Jeff Invisible Higgins. Not here yet.
Coach Higgins on his way.
He left practice 7:30, but he's in traffic, headed here now. All right, so let's go over a couple things before the coach gets here. We'll go quarters first. First quarter was 7-0. I thought we were looking good. Defense, I mean, hold them to nothing in Arena League, right?
Yeah.
Big time.
Exactly.
But, yeah, especially the Sharks. And then, but for us to only score 7, I was a little nervous.
I was a little concerned about it myself. I mean, as far as with our team and how we can score, we really scored 7 in the first quarter. I get a little nervous.
Okay. And then we're going to turn up your mic when we get it here, by the way. I hear it's a little less in here, but not going out to the fans. But in here, you may want to bring it closer to your mouth. So then 21-20 halftime.
Right.
You know, and I felt like we were in the game, right? We're winning, but I knew they were going to receive the ball, which as a coach, you know, you're going to be in Arena League. It's hard to make a stop. It's a big deal when you get a stop. So I'm thinking, okay, well, they're going to make it, if we don't get a stop, they're going to take the lead on the first drive, and, you know, and then we'll have to fight back. And
that's exactly what they did.
And that's what they did. And then they held us a couple times. And, you know, when it became 21-42 in the third quarter, then I was really nervous.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot our defense, I think, struggled once Brittani boys went down. I think our pass rush was a little not as...
Well, he's one of the best rushers in the league.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
He went down with 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
Right.
And he actually pulled his, tore his bicep. So that was a big deal. And then we had Tolbert, who had a full groin.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even want to get into it, but I'm going to have to. We had an ejection late in the game. That was late. That was late. So up in the upcoming game, we're gonna be struggling here on our line of scrimmage, because not only do we have the injuries, we have Murray that was ejected.
He was ejected. Now, was he suspended for a game?
Yes, he was. He wasn't ejected in the game. There was 1 second left. Can we go to the last play of the game? Do we have that, John? Because we could talk about that without the coach being here. So we ran a play with 5 seconds left, and somehow they left 1 second. So if you watch this snap of the ball, it's this is the 5 seconds. This left. No, this ain't it.
It's like 40 seconds left on the clock right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's what we got. So we'll go to it real quick. So I'll talk about it. So with 5 seconds left, there's a handoff, okay? And they stopped the play with 1 second left. Well, we just handed off on a dive, and then Murray just kind of blocks the guy to the right a little bit, and it's a quick dive to the left.
Right.
Our quarterback is just kind of walking backwards, you know, because he already gave the ball up. Well, then the guy pushes our quarterback. Well, you know, in football, you protect the quarterback. In hockey, you protect the goalie. Right. So they're the two things that you do, you know, it's just come. So Murray smacked him. And, of course, they saw it on the film, and now there's an ejection for the next game.
That's
yeah, I was pretty aggravated because actually Murray put it out on his coach. You can come in here as soon as you ready. Come on in. We can talk while you're moving. Yeah, to get ejected when you're protecting your quarterback, I'm not buying it.
No.
But in this league, there's nothing you can do. You know, they have rules of, you know, I don't know. What do you feel, Coach? I don't even know if we should bring the coach in on that one. We may, but
no, I'll just.
You got to protect your quarterback.
Well, there's also 134 other football plays in that football game that people respond, people hit each other, people do different things, and it's not the one play that resulted in that. It's a culmination of football plays. A couple that I've discussed with people on the field to look for certain things, and you know they weren't able to see what they saw. So I think that's no excuses, but I think people were responding to the just kind of being disappointed with those types of things happening prior. But like you said, you're always going to defend your quarterback. Your center is obviously the number one line of defense between, you know, the defense and the quarterback, so to speak. So he knows that overall he was wrong, but I will say he didn't punch, he didn't have a close fist. But he did inappropriately touch in football because that's not part of the game.
Yeah, I get it, you know what I mean, but still, you have to protect your quarterback. He kind of said something to him, and then he just gave him a little quick, little head tap.
What I saw wasn't a fake. It was not like he.
No. There was no. He was letting them know he shouldn't have done that. That's exactly what he was.
Yeah.
So, all right, so Coach, we're gonna go to the beginning here, right? I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of questions tonight, maybe from fans that are watching. But overall, you break down the game from the first quarter. We were up 7-0. Defense played great. I mean, to hold, you know, in this league, to hold somebody to 0. But we only scored 7. So go ahead, break down the first quarter.
Yeah, started off a little bit slow. Missed a couple throws, missed a couple opportunities that we felt we had. I will say that there's a lot of things that people don't know that we battled during the course not only of the game Friday night, but of course the week. And I think we were able to hide some of those things in the first half. They got exploited a little bit in the second half, and I'd like to rather not say that unless someone directly knows and asks, then I'll 100% say that. But for the sake of having other football teams and other games, and now that we have a couple of people that are potentially suspended or not there, they are kind of related to those types of people, if you can read between the lines. So in the first half, we did a good job of getting the ball out, run some quick screens, some 3-step, got us in position. We missed a couple calls. I missed the opportunity to be able to challenge the progress of the forward run, which then gave them another opportunity. But it was actually working to our benefit. In the second half, it didn't end up working like that. But to the first quarter that you said, yeah, we started off. Defense played great, and we were able to actually hide a couple things defensively that they exploited as well. But I'm just really proud of our guys in the fight. If you knew, well, you may know, but if people out there knew what we've been going through and how much we've been facing adversity, this is a great group of men. I'm going to support them 100% because they fight, and I wish I had them, earlier, so to speak. But yeah, it's not what we wanted for the outcome, and we've made some big time changes coming up here. But yeah, the first quarter, whenever you can be in the football game and be either a score up or a score down, in arena football, that's all you can be. And that ended up being like that in the second quarter, and then of course the third quarter changed.
Okay, so John, let's bring up clip 1, which is Outlaws TV. You can talk about it. And
yeah, so basically what we have is a clear out 4 line, working on the two-way player. For those people that don't know arena football, the front side corner, or the corner that's basically most defenses with the other defensive specialist. So it's the guy that's not by himself. He's the receiver DB. He's the guy that's got to play 2 ways on most people's defense. So he's not the defensive specialist. So if you're not the defensive specialist, you shouldn't really be as good usually. When you find somebody that is, that makes that play really special. So anyway, on that play right there, if you rewind it, basically what we did is very simple. We ran a little clear out where the CJ, who's obviously developed a little bit of a following and has people really focused on him, especially to the post route and back in the end zone, and just kind of brought it to the post. Lonnie, who came back, this week, who's been out, they might not have seen him in the film, the following week, runs a slant route. He beats their two-way player, well designed, on time, catches the ball, touchdown, pretty nice looking play.
Awesome. All right, so let's go. We're going to keep going through clips. Let's go to clip 2, which is Miller's sack.
You can see in this play right here, the nose guard. He gets a real good push, Rashad Miller. Those of you that might not know Rashad, he's got a world championship ring in Empire last year. He's been a good addition, but you see him play the nose. He gets a little bit of a good punch, a good swim underneath, or a rip underneath. And because the outside end actually gets some pressure and forces him, he comes right up inside and gets that sack. Real nice play. And I think when our guys play together in unison, it works really well when you get those guys on the outside, pushing up inside with the pressure. That quarterback doesn't really like that pressure. Usually he fades back. He fades back to try and move the ball. He couldn't on that. He stepped up and Rashad was there to sack him.
I got a question here. It wasn't just one time, it was a couple times. Ask about the injury report. How's Freddie Lloyd? How's Darren Tolbert?
The injury report has been kind of what we've been battling here in the last 3-4 weeks. It is what it is. It's part of football. But Freddie's doing okay. He's day to day. Darius is doing okay. He's day to day. We really need him back, but at the same time, their health is much more important than any one single football game. We realize that, of course, our season playoffs and that is very important. Those guys want to play, but we're going to refer to the doctors and the training staff to basically determine that. I will tell you that I got positive news, but for me to sit here and tell you that they're 100% going to play, I go into, so I'm not going to do that. But and then those are the guys. Those are the only guys you're asking about.
Those are the two. Those are 2 main ones that we're asking about.
Yeah, because, I mean, being there at the game on the sidelines, you see some things that are going on that people don't see, and out there, watching it on TV. But you can tell the frustration that started to happen, okay? In the third quarter, as it went on, especially as we kept getting guys injured, penalties that we saw and we weren't being called. And then with you challenging, it just puts the referees on call that, look, we know you made a mistake. It's just how many plays can you challenge a game? It just would go on endlessly in it seems like our game.
And I feel that I mean, let's just be honest. I take pride in challenging because I'm one of those people that if I don't know it to be 100%, then I don't want to challenge it. And I don't usually, it's nothing against the players, but I don't usually answer to a player that says, oh, he was down. Like, I want to see it. Yeah, I want the evidence. And if I see the evidence, then I challenge it. I don't think it's on purpose, but I kind of feel like I've won so many challenges. It's almost like someone wanting me to lose. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
It does get frustrating, and here's another thing. When you're talking to the ref, when you know, okay, let's say forward progress is stopped, and then you go, I want to challenge it, and they're like, well, that's not challengeable because it's what do you call it? When
no, I understand.
I don't know. I'm missing the word. Well, no, when a ref can make a decision, it's it's a judgment call. Yeah, it's a judgment call. Exactly. But we saw it, and you can see it on the film. Can you run that play right now? So
I mean, so I can see on this play. No, this isn't it. Can't be it. Oh, this is the second challenge.
Oh yeah, this was the challenge. Yeah, this challenge.
Oh, I ran won the first challenge.
Yeah. Right. This one is about look, and go ahead, play that again right there. That one just right there. Go back one, John. What they just did and go slow motion.
I'll give you an example.
This is the elbow down.
I know 100% the elbow is down.
Yeah, watch. His elbow hits before he stretches.
Before he stretched out.
Yeah.
So
if you could go back a little bit.
100% that before he stretched out, he was down.
Watch.
Right
there.
Well, and before that, you still don't have it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like what? Right there. There it is.
There it is.
That's it. So it's
100% clear to me that his elbow's down before the line. Now you look at this. The only reason why I challenged it, because let's be real, it's on the 1 yard line. But I still got a shot, right? And if I know that he's going to be down on the one, why would I not challenge it? I'm not going to
it's give him, do it. Right there. Now it's over.
So anyway, I was told that was indisputable evidence. It's not.
Look at that. And there's the picture right there. Oh, I'm taking a picture of that. See, and it drives us crazy because that's the perfect view. Because and thank God they were showing that, because one, they weren't showing the replays above on anyone that was questionable.
I mean, it's clear, but here's my point. I guess I'm wrong. Right? I guess I'm wrong. There it is. I was clearly wrong because.
Yeah, because he's not.
Lost the call.
I must have been.
And we lost that, and that's what.
Well, what's bad is since you lost that one, when I say waiting to lose a call. Later on, along the sideline, there was a catch that was ruled an interception. And I actually, I got a pretty good seat, so I'm sitting closer than everybody. So I'm on the other side of the wall, 3 feet, because I'm allowed to be by the numbers. The ball was dropped or caught. It was a catch, clearly, I guess, between the wall and the numbers. So I actually had the best angle. I could see the referee. Not in the best position, but maybe he was in a good position enough to call it a catch. In between the two players. So when I saw that, I said, I want to challenge it. And of course, one of my players said, why are you challenging this? And I said, I can't because I lost the one previous. Now, on that one, I believe they looked at it anyway, if I remember correctly.
On the elbow down?
But you couldn't actually,
on the other one.
No, you couldn't actually see it on the replay. I'll give them that. You couldn't see it on the replay.
On the replay,
But I saw it in person. I was there. I saw the ball. But the referee might not have been in great position to see it.
And I do understand that, there's going to be some blown calls. Yeah, it just happens, If I'm looking to the right and it happens to my left, things like that. But it just seems like so many are happening against us, and that's where not only are we getting frustrated, the players are getting frustrated, and as players are getting hurt and they're getting more frustrated, it's turning out not to be good.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, when it costs you points or football games, and just be real, I don't think that this last game. I'm never going to tell you that it's going to cost the game. I'm always going to put it on us. I'm always going to say it's our fault. But when you look at the end of the game, and a game is decided by one play or two plays, and that play happens to be a play that the call was missed, you know, it's tough, especially when, you know, you're looking at a fifth place going from fifth place to second on one play. That's how close the league is. A fifth place going to second place on just one play.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
It is what it is, but you know, we got to do better overall. We got to stay healthy. We've got to do those things to put us in a position where those things are not deciding the outcome, and that's what it is.
All right, let's see play 3, John. Alfred's fumble.
Well,
go ahead.
I'll say this as he's doing this. This is actually, I asked if I could challenge the forward progress. Indirectly, what I'm saying to them is, do you think when he's, like, because you understand, when you stop moving and you're not going forward anymore.
Well, he's going
right
backwards.
Backwards. That's forward progress stopping when you're going backwards.
Absolutely.
So when that happens, let's be real, John. You've seen football a long time. What usually happens when you're going backwards? Yes, the whistle is blown. So, well, now, what happens is in other leagues, like for instance the NFL, they're taught to blow the whistle late because you don't want an inadvertent whistle. So then you can say, hey, can I challenge you whether the forward progress is stopped?
I'll check it out, and then you'll see that he's going backwards. He's being pulled backwards and pushed backwards. Then he goes forward again, and then the fumble.
So since this is such a big play, I knew his knee wasn't down. I asked about forward progress. So my hope was, you know what, we're going to look at this and say, we should have blown the whistle or end the ball.
Show it again, John. Because this was a big deal. This was major for us.
But I'm always going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I guess I was wrong, and you know they didn't feel that way. So since they didn't feel that way, it was Jacksonville ball.
So I get it there, but not here. Now he's going backwards, and then the ball's ripped out. But it is what it is. Let's go to Beaver's touchdown.
So now you'd have 4th and 6 inches.
Yeah.
But now we have Jacksonville football.
Yep.
All right. So what they actually did was they switched up a little bit their defense. So their boundary corner right there, right? And this is something that we drew up literally for Larry. We ran a simple bench route. We see that when he's motioning in, the defensive specialist is way inside. So basically we just run a good timing route. We call it for the touchdown. We run a pitch route. It was a good throw, good catch, good call. And it was really nice to catch there to the boards right there. It's a bench route.
Actually, I was standing right there where he hit the wall, and it was pretty exciting.
The wall is undefeated, John.
And the wall is out of bounds, and I'll explain that later in a play that I see that we could, again, we could go angle it in at the end and maybe a touchdown instead of a 1 yard line. You know what I mean? But okay, Jacksonville onside kick. This was really nice. This was good.
Well, you know what was great about this, and I talked to Josh about this, and you know what, it doesn't matter, it's good coaching. Stop right here. What's happening is, when they were clustered up right here, okay, we've practiced this, and Josh has known this, and we have 2 new linemen that are up there that have only practiced it a couple times, but if you can imagine, you guys that see, you spread out, of course, the course of a 28-yard field. But right now, don't play the whole thing, but they're in that first 9-foot area. So they're in a 4-yard area in the middle of the field. When that happens, you're supposed to have, well, my philosophy is, then you condense down. You condense your front line down. So I see it, and I'm yelling to Josh. So Josh knows right now, this is everything that Coach Hicks says. When they line up like this, they're probably going to onside. So he's trying to get everybody bunch back up, and then when they release, if they go out, then of course it's a kick. He knew it was an onside kick. Me and him were on the same page. And he turns right here. You see him talking to Shawn, who's new, and they're trying to loosen up. He's watching the ball, and then he just goes against it.
It just looked right in his lap. That was just like it was a play made for Jenkins.
Well, I mean, he's watching the ball. He knows what's happening.
Exactly.
People say it's luck. I don't believe in luck. It's when preparation meets opportunity. We actually were prepared. 3 or 4 out of our 8 guys were actually doing it. Well, I say 6. 5 or 6 were doing it correctly. The other 3 were in the back that you couldn't see. They did it perfectly.
Right.
But he's in the front, and that's how we were prepared. It wasn't lucky. He did a great play. That's how you coach it, and that's how you do it. Great job, Josh.
Yes, very good. It was awesome. You got any questions for him?
Okay, yeah, we got it. You want to read it?
Oh, now he's reading his own questions.
It's a long one, John.
No, I think people around here talking about answering phone and emails. If I did that, I'd be honest, I don't think I could coach the football team.
No.
I do the best I can to get to them. And don't take it personally if I don't answer you. I might see it and just, it's not priority. Happens all the time with players trying to give you opportunities that might not fit our ball club. So I might just not answer.
I got an answer for that. During the season, we don't need to be answering emails while we're focusing on a football game. Because 1, we got to worry about putting people in the right place. 2, we got to worry about replacing people that get hurt. And 3, replacing people in general that need to be replaced.
And I'll say that if that happens, and that's pretty much commercial, what I do is I actually just I store them all. I store them all in prospective player folders.
Go later.
Yeah, and then if people want to show up to a workout, they show up to the workout, and we'll see how it goes. But
I just store them a little differently.
I get it. Here we go. This one? Is that what we got next?
Yeah. Jenkins hard hit. Yeah, you can do that. Number 6. Play 6.
Jenkins hard hit. That's why we call him Crash. Or I call him.
This was beautiful. Yeah, that was very exciting.
Yeah, the throw here. Okay, you can see him. He's squatting down. He's kind of what we call sloughing off. He's looking to see, if he's going to help. That's why he's opened up. The quarterback opens his hips, and he comes down and gives Mr. Naquan Murray a very nice hit. Charges the ball loose, and that's a very nice football play. He's got to be up for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, geez, we got 2 guys probably, maybe even 3.
You got a few players that can be up for
Yeah, I mean, we've got some great guys. We did the coaching staff and all our people in the offseason. Good job of recruiting, good job of bringing people that can add to the ball club. And they're just, I'm just grateful to have Josh as a monthly always too.
Somebody said here, we got a new QB that we run in there as well.
Excuse me? A new QB is coming in. Is that a statement? Is that
this week?
Last week we signed. I think it's working out. Last week we did sign back Matt Parsons.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, new? Yeah, he was here last year. He was here in the beginning. Life kind of, threw him a curveball during training camp, but we're happy to have him back, and we're happy to have him part of the football team again.
And then somebody else says, how healthy is the team, Coach?
How healthy is the team? It's been tough. It's been tough. We're hoping to get a guy back here and there, but we've been battling the injury bug. We've got guys that are playing with nicks and bruises. It is what it is. I think everybody has been doing that, but you gotta understand too. It's a brand new Ironman season for a lot of these guys. So some of those things, are gonna happen. But it seems like, with us, we've gotten some bad luck in that regard as well. We're just trying to get healthy, but at the end of the day, it's our job to play on Friday night, so we'll do that.
So I got another one. Are we conditioning enough, you know, for them to be healthy to go both ways? Because my sister-in-law next year wants to come out like she did for me in other events that we've done. She does kickboxing, all kinds of training, and believe me, she works her ass off. And I don't know, are we working enough for the linemen? Because I've been at a couple practices, you know, and I see everybody else running hard and doing things. Your receivers, you know. My question is, are the linemen working enough and conditioning enough to go both ways?
If you ask me, you already know what I'm going to say, and this is, the players will tell you this, you're never working enough if you ask me. And that's both good and bad, because you've got to have a fine line. You know, let's be real, those big guys, running isn't exactly what they were built to do. I try to turn it into a positive and say, well, that's fine, that's why we're going to get better at it. The philosophy, though, is this, and this is not always easy to have all your linemen, and even sometimes your line coaches who've been there, but the philosophy is if you run everywhere in practice, everywhere, then you really shouldn't need a condition. Now, the truth of the matter is, you have some of that happening, but it doesn't always happen. So when it doesn't happen, it's not that guys aren't in shape enough to play Ironman. It's just they're not in shape enough for you to have them be in shape the way you want them to be in shape. So I mean, our linemen work extremely hard. They do what they do. Sometimes though, you got to shut it down and stretch. Other times you got to have mental periods. You do those things at the end of the year. You know, you even do things like not even having pads on, which that's better at the end of the year to take not a toll on your body like it does the first how many weeks you're playing. But they're in shape enough to play Ironman, yes. But injuries happen. We actually, for a while, I mean, I should have knocked on wood, but I was actually talking to Crash because we actually were practicing so well up until those 3 weeks ago that we were like healthy. And then all of a sudden it seemed, which was an ankle, but when Cruz got hurt, then, which had nothing to do with being in shape, it seemed like some other things happened after that. But it's just what happens. It's nature of the beast. Sometimes you get it. Get it to bite you. Other times you get away with it. So this year hasn't been one that we got rid of.
That's been a tough year for injuries for us on both sides of the ball.
So to me, conditioning, right? As a coach, our jobs are to make athletes do things that they don't want to do, to accomplish things that they can do that they don't know they can do.
Let's be real. I'm an exercise science guy, so I actually know a little bit about training. And I'll be real. If you can run the whole practice and you take a 5-minute period, and let's be real. So a football play is about 5-6 seconds.
That's it.
And how much time is on a play clock? 25 seconds. So if you literally condition like that, you sprint for 5 seconds, and you take a 25-second break. And you do that for like how many are long, when it's only 5 minutes, you're continuously conditioning just like a football game. So if you're playing a different sport, if you're playing basketball, so to speak, you might run striders up and back, up and back, up and back for a period of like, a minute and a half, because that's how long they probably go before they get a rest. Football's a little different. So we try to condition them just like the sport, which is run 4 to 5 seconds with a 25-second break.
I say we get them all to play a hockey game and then see how that works out for them. Then they'd be breaking the skates, coach. They'd be crushing it. All right, so do we want to see Kano's interception real quick? I know we don't want to see it. We know you don't throw across the field all the way from one side to the other, and then not only that, a bad angle of throwing it. Go ahead.
The play actually is bad for a lot of reasons. Let's go back to the beginning of the play. And we talked about this, right? We talked about it in the first half, and if you could slow it down, we were running quick screen. And now let's see, the cat's kind of out of the bag, so to speak. So we got some guys banged up. We want to get the ball out quick. So now, stop right there. If you look at Caleb Walls, Does he have a good angle on this running on this DB?
Yep, against 22.
And is the other DB at the 20-yard line over 10 yards away? So that ball should have been thrown to the receiver with Caleb Walls blocking him out front. So he might only get...
And it's only one, then it's one-on-one.
Right, and he might only get 3 or 4 yards. But right there, it's 2nd down and 4, 2nd and 5. So now it puts us in a good 3rd down. Now, at first in the game, I said to Cato, good job avoiding it, because I thought maybe he wasn't going to get the ball. I thought maybe that DB jumped it, I couldn't see it. So he avoids it. Okay, so now if he avoids it, now let's look. Now in front of him, there's nobody, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
He can run.
He can run. He can get rid of the ball. And he throws it across his body, you know, which is cardinal sin, playing the quarterback position. And then to end this right now, I told CJ I would much rather see a penalty than an intercepted football. We haven't intercepted. However, I saw it at the ground.
All right, so go ahead back, John. No, go back. I'm gonna want you to see something because I watched this play a few times. I want you to see number 4 in front of him. So right here, watch. Go ahead, play number. Now, go ahead, keep playing it. You see number 4 there, right? Now watch. Now keep going. Keep going. Watch number 4. I want you to stop it now. Nope. Keep going a little more. Look, right there. Number 4 standing there all by himself. I just feel he's not keeping his eyes down. You know what I mean. But look at him. There's not one person near him. Right there. Nobody there. He could have threw it right to him. And you don't have to go for the touchdown all the time. And that's what I feel that we're trying to do sometimes with the deep ball. These guys.
And as you can see, the deep ball wasn't even called. It was called a quick screen. But that's the play. That's the play that I had the good angle on when I was on the other side of the numbers. And you know, maybe in my old age, my eyes aren't so good, but it appeared to me that I saw white hit the green. They looked at it and
you want me to sing? Right after we're finished with the breakdown live, we're going to start karaoke here live. Where you going? Why are you leaving?
Yeah, John, but I agree. And especially in arena football, short to deep is most what it was, you know. And then there are plays, obviously, when you go deep. But yeah, it's you'll see a major change with that, but it is what it is.
Okay, go ahead. Beaver, man. Beaver should have had a touchdown here, and that was a beautiful pass by Cato. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so this is an example where we're running a lot of quick screen. We finally get them to do it. We take a shot, doing the same thing. Now, if you see, we have those guys sitting at what's called the hitch routes, right? So they're sitting, and the backside guy runs all the way across the field. I believe this is pretty much a perfect ball, and we just got to bring it in. Got to bring it in.
Yeah. Yep. And that, you know, and that's plays. I mean, you know, all year we've been around every game. This is the only game late in the game we weren't in. It was hard to come back from what we were at, what we were going. But any game that we lost this year, besides that one, we could have easily won by your 5-play rule. 1 of 5 plays.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at this game, if you make 5 plays, I'm not saying you win, but you're definitely in at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I'm not getting any questions. You guys got questions out there? Ask them.
You know why? Because we're answering everything.
You guys are. You're on.
We're trying to answer everything.
This is a pretty cool.
Hey, good. Let's play 10. Let's hit play 10.
This is a nice little play. Called the right time. 2nd and 5. They come with a rush. It's called a double screen. And you have Shaquille Holiness as well as Des Maxwell. They screen on both sides. So if you slow that down, you'll see Des slowing down and turning to the right of the offensive formation. Shaquille turning on the left. And there's Quan, who's supposed to be out front blocking, but
He's looking backwards, Coach.
yeah, but you know what? He's been out there all year long. On that play, he didn't get out. But look at this. It was a good run, catch and run all the way down to the 2-yard line, put us in scoring position, which then we scored on the next play, I believe, with C.J. Williams.
I actually, during that play, I was impressed. I love those plays like that. Screens where you're blocking and then you release. And that's what he did. You make contact a little and you come off. There's slip screens and all kinds of, to me, slip screen is kind of your inside type of stuff. But when you're blocking and then you're pushing off and then you're spinning around, I love those types of screens. They work all the time. You could definitely win a game. Without a doubt.
That's what see, now you got to go to the strategy, okay? So when you're having, for whatever reason, maybe say you need guys to have help. So you'll know this, John, some of the viewers, you do what's called slide protection. So Shaquille, who is the tight end DN, he's not necessarily, I'm not saying he's not a good blocker, but he's not as good as maybe a big guard, like let's say Austin Reagan, Vayshawn Dixon, those guys. So he's kind of the help player. So you slide with him, right? And then the fullback kind of goes the opposite direction. Well, if you really go back and look at that play, when you're running a lot of slide protection, it sets up for what's called a double screen, because the line goes one way, and then the fullback goes the other, which looks like slide protection. So he slides and takes his 1, 2, 3, kind of releases him and does the old shoot block, lets him go, turns around, and then so it went really well with what we were doing. It takes advantage of some guys coming off the edge that are trying to maybe exploit some things you're having trouble with, and then you get a nice big long play to set you up in scoring position.
Okay, go back to that play, John. Hit 10 again. This is where, I don't know. I don't like going to the wall. The wall to me is the enemy. Okay? All right? But after this wall, I'd be turning it. Because where do we end up?
You're talking about a lineman running with the ball.
He's hey, well, no. After that, about turn here, because he's bigger than these guys. You get more yardage. As soon as you touch the wall,
I agree.
With the arm, they don't have to bring you down. Hey, you must bring me down.
He's not used to it, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I agree. If he goes back inside,
probably just by his size, you know what I mean? And them trying to tackle. That's, you know what I mean? And it's 21-42. We need to score now.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
That's what I'm busted, Josh.
No, you're right. You're definitely right. He would have went in, but he's just a big old lineman running with a football, carrying like a loaf of bread.
I love him, man. I love him. I'm glad we got him back. Go ahead. Go hit play 11. So this is Williams TD. This is just a quick run.
If you guys know outdoor football, general ISO, we're going to ISO up onto that jack linebacker, which is the smaller linebacker, and then just cut back inside. So that's just an ISO play where the receiver becomes kind of like a tailback, and the fullback leads up onto the linebacker on that side, and then you just read the block and get into the end zone.
Okay, so John was talking to me before we ran this. John, play 14. This was bothering John. He was like, which is two couple down, John. That's your cameraman interference. So when he saw the cameraman like this, he was getting nervous. He was like, if it was a bad snap, what was going to happen? So it's exactly what happened. The cameraman was right there, taking a shot. John's like, what happens if it's a bad snap? And sure enough, then I don't know if we got interference, but did it hit the cameraman? I don't even remember that. I remember the snap.
I remember being on the field and like seeing this, like I'm like looking at him like, what? You're like right here. Like I'm not worried about it. I played it, but like if you're on the field, if you've seen a couple times like the quarterback going over to me, like during the game, I feel like I got nowhere to go. And that's not even on in the middle of the field. That's on the side. Yeah, you're right. He's in the way.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, so I don't know if we want to play 15, really. Like, Go ahead, play it. I mean, I wouldn't call it the end of game fights. Are you talking about like the smack? So this is, oh, go ahead.
Let's see here. All right, so I already know. Shawn Dixon doesn't like the little extra that happens. And then you've got the, the LeBron James flop after it.
Yeah.
You get the,
yeah.
But, see, again, we see this. Correct. Shawn Dixon is running down. He gets a little extracurricular by the guy, and then he comes back with a, with an inappropriate punch. So we've had about 137 other football plays in this football game where you don't see what happens in the pile, you don't see what happens during the play, and that was kind of the frustration. I'm sure also with the loss or where we're at right there, but here's a guy, and let's talk about a real good kid that was with the Baltimore Ravens, ended up not being with them, going to USFL. I found him in the offseason. He went on the exempt list. He's been back here for, he's only played 4 or 5 games. No excuses, you can't do that at any other level, but he's a good kid. He's remorseful. Emotions get the best of you. But, I'll be real. I'd much rather him be aggressive and then me have to tell him to stop than the other way around. And I'm not condoning what he did. I'm just saying.
I'm good with it.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, this is an aggressive sport, and it's not nice. Anybody tells you that it is, they lie. I'm just not going to do that.
And when somebody snaps you over the wall, and then you don't have the ball, and then you get a little frustrated.
I like this question. Offensive line prefer a pass block or a running plays? They 100% want running plays, I would say. A little bit different though for arena football because you've got 3 linemen and you've got a fullback, and then you've got 3 linemen and 2 linebackers. So they're always outnumbered. They're outnumbered 5-3 unless you run into the quarterback, and that's 5-4. Right? Simple math.
Yep.
But
you don't have tackles.
Correct.
No tackles.
But they still love it. They love to get down and dirty and just be like my old favorite, hogs, and just push them into the ground. They probably wish there was some mud we could throw on the turf. But yeah, they love it. They love the run block. But of course, in a passing football game, they do their job and they do it.
Great play.
Because you figure NFL, other football, when you have that, how many times you play against the 5-man front against defense? Not many anymore. That really doesn't exist, So offensively, there's normally more guys blocking than are rushing. In arena, it's a little different. It's even or more.
There's always rushing usually instead of blocking. But when you run the football, you have that extra player that's not rushing, so now you're outnumbered.
Yeah.
So you can run some different things, like you can run zone on one side and not run somebody, which we have that plan. You can run a dive. Then you can get into your follows where the fullback leads, which kind of like that play becomes an ISO, so you're even. But that's why when we
short yardage
did some things like running the bootleg and things like that, which most people don't do in arena football. It's something that we did with Cato because it worked well with him, but you don't see a lot of that.
All right. Any other questions?
Yeah,
I think we're.
It says, Coach, what do you feel Jacksonville's biggest weapon?
I feel Jacksonville's biggest weapon is a guy by the name of Shane Oler. He's the guy asking the question, by the way. He's a scout and coach from Jacksonville asking me what their biggest weapon is. You know what? What do you think it is? I don't know. Why don't you tell me what it is, and I'll figure out how to stop it. I'll do the best I can.
Yeah, let us know what it is.
Listen, you guys are full of weapons. I have a lot of respect for the whole football club. I have a lot of respect for how you guys turned it around. Let's be real. What's happened with the quarterback coming back, what he's done, the receiving core, the list goes on and on. But you guys have a good job with your defensive front. But I'm not giving you that information.
All right. So anything else we got? Okay. So guess who we're playing this week on Friday? at 7:30 at the Amway. We're playing Jacksonville.
Sharks one more time.
Yeah, so, you know, with the injuries, I hope we can put something together. And, of course, you watch film, you break it down, you see, you know, what they did wrong, what we did wrong, and maybe what we could take advantage of. And I know that's what their coach is doing too right now, but, you know, we're supposed to have a great crowd. We got Nova Rex playing. We have. Go ahead. You want to answer that question before I go on?
You just said glad to have great competition. Of course, Shane, without a doubt. I have much respect for everybody in the league. You know, we all have the same mentality because it's kind of the black and blue league, like I said earlier in the year. But it's pretty much respect everybody, fear nobody. We all live by it. We compete like son of a guns and during the game, but of course after it's nothing but professionalism. I try to keep as much as we can with our ball club. Our apologies go out for some of those things that happen in the game, and hopefully we can just have a good sportsmanship game, and it comes out where we're both healthy, because that's the most important thing. But you guys do a great job, and we just hope to do a little bit better. But that's just the nature of the game.
All right, so on Friday at 7:30, we have Nova Rex playing an hour before the game. It's Fan Appreciation Day. It's bike night. Out front, we're going to have motorcycles to. We're going to put 4 of them to win the trophy. We're going to be throwing out a lot of good stuff to the fans. You can sign up and get your renew your season tickets. I think we got a special announcement that they're going to do about a beer thing. It's going to be pretty good for some tickets, so that'll be fun. And then we got a 10-minute halftime again with Nova Rex. We have a dance camp before, so you're going to have young girls out there dancing at halftime with the Predator Prowlers. And then at the end of the game, we have a performance by V, who sings swag surfing. That's big in the college arena for all different football games played at the LSU Georgia game. So can't wait to see you. Come to the game, enjoy it. Thanks for watching the breakdown live here at PR Tacos at 717 East. What's the address again? I'm having a brain freak. East what?
717.
Yeah, 717 East what? Smith Street. I'm having a brain freak. And so anyway, thanks for coming and checking us out on the TV, and check us out and come on down Friday night, 7:30.
And this is the last one. I want to make sure that we're answering all of us. Lisa, I actually agree with you to have the players in here more often. Nothing against that. I don't want to be here, but I would love to have them here more than I. In the current state we're at, some of them go to treatment after they work during the day. But we can actually have them here more than we have not had them. In fact, one of our players was going to be here tonight. I'm glad that we don't announce them, because then something came up recently that he actually has an opportunity to go to talk to some agents and things like that. But I 100% agree with you that they need to be more visible, but we do practice at night, so we couldn't get them here tonight. But yeah, I agree 100%.
You know, I think it's cool too that the head coach for the Sharks is watching the breakdown live.
That's good. You know why? You know why? Because we break down the play. So all the other teams should be watching.
Who is that? Oh, he's on the staff. Okay, my apologies.
What about it? So next week we won't be here. We'll be on Tuesday. We will be at the Ace Cafe because we can't come here because Tuesday's Taco Tuesday. The place is not. They'd kill us if we took 5 tables. So anyway, thanks for watching, Coach. Let's bring what we can and let's put on a good show and let's.